everybody. Anybody who wants to join our Zoom meeting can do now by pressing on the link on top of the video, and you will be directed to the Zoom application. If you don't have one, you will have to download. Once you have downloaded, you can register and then open the application. Geraldine, good evening, Geraldine.
Hello, Ajahn. Hello, Ajahn. I'm good. How are you?
Do you have anything to say or ask?
Actually, I can't think of any now. I just wanted to come in. I haven't seen you for a while because my Facebook notification is not working.
What happened?
It just doesn't notify me anymore for the whole week. I'm not sure why. Then today it works again.
So how did you get to know about this meeting?
Today the Facebook notified me again.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say hello to Alfredo. Hi, Alfredo from Brazil.
How are
you?
How are you?
Okay, good.
Fine,
Feeling
thanks.
good? Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any question?
I am practicing the Kaya Nupassana. Yes, more easy to me. Elevation states is difficult to enter, né, Bante? Kaya Nupassana looks like more comfortable, more accessible to us. It's okay?
It's okay, but it's not what you think it is. What you contemplate is not the real thing, see. It's only when you come to meet the real thing, that's when it's become difficult. When you become sick, then you'll find it difficult. And if you don't have equanimity, you cannot face sickness. You will have suffering. Because your mind will reject sickness. Your mind wants to get well, get away from sickness. But sometimes the sickness won't get away from you. So the only thing you can do is to accept the sickness and live with the sickness. So that's the hard part. Right now you're well, and you're just thinking about sickness and death. But that's still not the time. The real thing doesn't come yet. See, so it's easy to think about it, but when you have to come to face with it, that's the hard part. That's why you have to prepare yourself, your mind, teach your mind to accept aging, sickness, and death. And it's just only thinking. It's still not real. You have to wait until you come face to face with the reality and see how your mind reacts. That's the test. Right now you're doing the homework. Prepare yourself for the test. So it's easy. But if you don't have equanimity, you cannot calm your mind. When you come face to face with reality, your mind will be agitated. And if you don't have any mindfulness or equanimity, you will not be able to calm your mind. So that's why you have to learn how to calm your mind first. And it's hard because your mind doesn't like to be calm. Your mind likes to be active all the time, likes to think, likes to be in action all the time. That's why it's hard to meditate. It's easy to contemplate because that's action. But action that doesn't yet produce any result. See? You have to face the reality and use this action, this contemplation to calm your mind, to teach your mind to let go of the body. That's when it becomes difficult. Okay?
Okay. Wisdom is too important to not only meditation. Wisdom and meditation is important, Bhante.
Mm-hmm. You have to know the truth, the reality that's coming, like sickness and death. Then you have to teach your mind to accept it. And the way to accept it is to have equanimity, just remain calm and not get excited, become fearful or anything like that. Yeah. Because the more you react, the more suffering your mind will experience. The less you react, the less suffering you will experience. If you don't react at all, then you don't experience anything and any suffering. So before you can come to vipassana or contemplation effectively, you need to have equanimity first. But you can,
Yes.
you can do all contemplation all you want now, but it doesn't mean anything because you don't come face to face with reality yet. When you come face to face, then you'll find out whether you're like when you were kicked out of your meeting group. So you feel bad. That's because you forget that this is anicca. Belonging to a group is anicca. It's not permanent. And when it happens, you're not prepared your mind to accept the anicca. And your mind cannot become calm because the mind keeps reacting to being eliminated from the group. So, has your mind accepted the truth now?
Yes, thanks. Very, very good explanations. I think it's very important to prepare to seek, prepare to death, prepare to other things.
Yes, separation from everything that you have. Because nothing belongs to you. In the end, you're going to have to give up everything. So this is what you have to keep reminding yourself. But it's only just preparing. You don't know yet whether you will be able to let go or not when the time comes. But if you have equanimity, if you meditate and you can enter to jhana, then you know you can. Because when in jhana, you actually letting go of everything, although temporarily. When you enter into jhana, you let go of everything, even your body, the five khandhas, everything. But it's only a temporarily letting go. In order to make it permanent, you have to use vipassana. Vipassana will tell you that you have to get rid of your desire for things. The desire to possess, to own, to have something. You have to teach your mind that you cannot possess everything. Everything that you possess is a temporary possession. Sooner or later, you will have to be separated from them. So you must not have any desire or any wish to possess anything. When the time comes for you to give up, then you must willingly give up. Then you will not feel any suffering. Okay, we have a couple more participants. Let me say hello to them. Marlin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, iPad. You got anything to say? Marlin?
Me?
Yes.
Ajahn.
You have any
Yes.
question?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Regarding the meditation on tranquility meditation, I have to write this down because I'm not that familiar with this in English terms. I heard that not everyone experienced that deep plunge before the peaceful bliss. So if they don't get that experience, how do they know they're there?
Sometimes it's gradual, sometimes it's sudden. So the experience,
Okay.
sometimes you fall from a high place. Sometimes you just go down step by step, falling
Okay.
step by step instead.
Okay.
But you'll find that the mind becomes calmer and lighter and less reactive. It becomes more equanimity. It has more equanimity
Right.
and less thoughts.
Okay. So how do you know when you are ready to go on to insight meditation?
When you have master your meditation first, when you have master your calm, your jhana first, you can enter to jhana anytime you want. And after you come out of meditation, you can remain non-reactive for a long time.
Okay. So if I get to the point where if I want to go in, I just sit there and I'm right in there, then
That's
I
right.
know that's when I'm ready.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. Because if your mind is not calm enough or have enough equanimity, your defilement will keep pushing your thoughts the other way.
Okay.
I try to
And
contemplate on aging, sickness, and death for a few moments, and then the mind, the defilement will then tell you to go look for money or look for something else.
right. So during this insight meditation, do I now do the walking or do I just sit?
You can do it in any position. You don't have
Okay.
to be in, you don't have to be in meditation to do contemplation.
Okay.
You want to remind yourself of the truth that everything doesn't belong to you. And if
Okay.
you attach, when you lose them, you will suffer.
Yeah. Now, like right now, sometimes when I have some problems and things that I'm going through, and I don't know whether, I've done anything appropriately or not. And when I go into meditation, those answers comes out. Is that the way it should be?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah. Cause I've done something not very, how you say, not thinking clearly, and then I felt bad about it. Then during meditation, it tells me that I just done a big defilements, that I still have those problems that I need to get rid of. So is that? See, I don't know where I am when
See, sometimes you have the problem first, and then you have the answer later on. Sometimes you have the answer first, and then you wait for the problem to come.
Right.
Like when you contemplate on aging, sickness, and death, this is the answer. But the problem hasn't come yet.
Okay.
But sometimes you have problem and you don't have the answer. So when you calm your mind, then your mind can see clearly.
Okay.
Then you can see the answer.
Okay.
So it can be either way. Sometimes your problem comes first and you couldn't find the answer because your mind is so cloudy with illusion. So when you meditate and calm your mind and clear your mind of delusion, then you see the answer. See?
Right. And this delusion is mostly on my part is correcting my not so good part, it's more like getting rid of defilements. And I noticed that since I've done this several years now, that I have improved a lot in terms of dealing with others and how I should get there in order to pass all this steps towards Buddha.
You should know that regardless of what you do, it's your mind that is the most important thing.
Right.
If whatever you do causing stress in your mind, then it's wrong.
Right. Right.
But whatever you do and doesn't cause any stress, then it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
So if you do something and it's causing you stress, then it's time for you to stop.
No, it didn't. I mean, I don't have any of that anymore. It's just that recently someone asked me to help them with something, and then after looking at it, I said, this is not good. And later on, I realized that's not the way to tell people that, because it could be hurtful. That I should step back and be a little bit more gentle how I handle communication with other people. So is that stress?
You have to find out for yourself whether you feel good or bad.
Okay.
You know within yourself whether you feel good or bad.
Right.
When you feel bad, then you know you're not doing it right. You still have some attachment or some desire to achieve the result.
Okay.
If you don't have any desire for achievement, then you won't have any sadness or bad feeling. You just do it just because it's proper or right to do, but you don't expect the achievement. It might work, it might not work. But at least you do your part.
Right. But all of this is really just to polish you, right? Making you a better person or more righteous towards...
Well, the goal is not to make you righteous, or the goal is for you to study the truth of existence.
Right.
And try to let go of your attachment to your existence.
Right.
And the other thing will fall into place. Being righteous, being good, and so forth will fall into place.
Yeah, got it. Thank you so much.
Let's go to Emily Shelton. Where are you from?
We're from Washington, D.C.
Yes. This is your first time in this meeting room, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can we help you with anything? Would you like to ask any question?
You?
Sure. On the subject of laziness, like what about when you are like sometimes I feel like the heart doesn't want to do something, but if I feel like I should force myself to do it, and then it feels like feels good to actually do it. So I was wondering if you could talk on this a little bit.
You mean forcing yourself to do something that you should do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we are lazy, so we have to look at the consequence of our laziness. If you don't do it, then you don't get what you should be getting. So once you see the consequence of your laziness, then you say, well, I better do it. Like going to work, if you miss working for a few days, you can be fired. So you will not get lazy going to work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must think of the consequence. With Dhamma practice, if you don't practice Dhamma, you will still be imprisoned in samsara forever. And your time is running out every day. You have less time to do it because life is shortened every day. You have to think like this. Then it will then energize you or inspire you or motivate you to keep moving, to keep on practicing. Because time is running out every day. You're losing one day of your precious time. Because this lifetime is the best time to get yourself out of the prison of samsara. Because you have direction, you have people leading you, guiding you. You have the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Without the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, nobody can guide you or lead you out of samsara. So you must take this take advantage of this existence, this opportunity, which doesn't come all the time. Next time you're born again, you might not come across the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha again. So you will be in the dark because nobody would know what samsara is, what Dhamma is. Like in the States, I think lots of people don't know about samsara. They don't know about Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. They only know about making money, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is good enough? All right. So let me go to the next participant.
Could I
Oh, you
have
want?
the
Sure, go ahead. What's your name? Emily? Okay.
I'm the Emily, and this is the Matt.
Okay.
I have, whenever I'm meditating, I notice that my mind wanders a lot into different thoughts, and then a minor piece of one thought turns into a whole different other thought, and it keeps going before I'm able to realize to bring myself back to my breath. Is there better ways for me to not allow my mind to wander and not allow so many thoughts to come up at one time? Because I notice that I'm very distracted inside, not just outside.
Yes. Because you don't have enough mindfulness. Your mindfulness is very weak. Your concentration power is very weak. So you have to develop more concentration power before you meditate. You can do this by reciting a mantra from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. If you don't have anything to think, you should stop your mind from thinking by reciting the mantra. Or you should focus on your body action. Keep watching what your body is doing. Don't let your mind go somewhere else. Keep it with the body. Then this will then be, you will then have the strength to prevent your mind from running all over the place, thinking about this and that. So this is what most meditators lack, is the concentrating power. We call it mindfulness, sati in Pali. So you have to develop sati or mindfulness first. And you can do this all day long. You should try to stop your thought as much as possible. Only let it think only when it's absolutely necessary. Like you have to do some work, something, then you have to use your thought, that's fine. But you should stop it from daydreaming or fantasizing or, aimlessly thought. You should stop it by either reciting a mantra, if you like reciting mantra. If you don't like, you have to watch your body movement all the time. Don't let your mind stray away from the body. Then you will have stronger mindfulness. When you meditate, then the mind won't go with your thoughts. The mind will stay with your meditation object. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. You can ask later any more questions. Now let me go to the next person first. Sweet Hand. What happened to Sweet Hand?
Good morning, Ajahn. Oh, Sweetan, he's throwing out the garbage. It's garbage day today.
I see. Okay. You have anything to say or ask?
The other day, just 2 days ago, I meditated and had a really calm and empty state. It's been very motivating for me to meditate more. However, I also try to teach myself that it's impermanent, and I shouldn't expect when I meditate to get the same state. But at the same time, it's also very motivating for me. So I should find a balance.
Your practice varies from day to day because the condition changes, condition around you. Sometimes you are more involved with people and things, and your mindfulness is not as strong. Then that day your meditation might not be as good. Some other day when you are not involved with people or things as much, and you have more time to concentrate, developing mindfulness, then when you meditate, you get better result. So you have to accept that this is the process of practice, up and down, like driving through the mountains. You go up, then you come down, then you go up again. But as you develop more mindfulness, and as you detach yourself more from other people and things, then you'll be like driving on a flat land, on a level road. So there won't be any up or down. It will be just always good. That's when you become a monk or you become a nun. When you don't have to get involved with other people, then you will not have, your mind won't be stuck with people and things.
Right.
And you can develop mindfulness, erasing all your thoughts before you meditate. So when you meditate, you can become calm quite easily and quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't expect, but just do it. It's like going fishing, okay? When you go fishing, you cannot say how many fish you're going to catch today, right?
Right.
Sometimes you might get 1 fish, sometimes you might get 10 fish, right?
Mm.
So just do your best.
Right.
When you do your practice, just do your mindfulness. Keep mindful on your meditation object. And whatever result you get, let it be, let it happen. If it isn't good today, well, there's always tomorrow. There's always the next time to do it again.
Mm.
Don't feel bad. It's useless to feel bad. Yeah. Just be calm and be realistic. All right?
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, Alvin, your turn. From Singapore, from Malaysia, Alvin.
Yes, Ajahn. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, Ajahn. Just quick question on meditation. When I practice, and sometimes I feel like itchiness on my face and things like this. Do I just take note of the itchiness and see the itchiness go away, or do I just ignore it and continue with my breathing?
You should ignore it. It's distraction. As soon as you pay attention, then you will not be mindful of your meditation object, and your mind will become more agitated and restless. So the only way to deal with any distraction is to concentrate more on your meditation object. Don't stay away from your meditation object. And eventually, everything that comes will go and they will not bother you. But if you're not with your meditation object, you start to deal with the distraction, then you're going to have some desire to get rid of it. Then when you cannot get rid of it, then it becomes more agitated. You become more agitated. So the best way to deal with anything when you meditate, with any distraction, is to leave it alone. Don't pay any attention. Just your work at that time is to focus on your meditation object only. Don't let anything distract you from that objective. Okay?
Okay, son.
Okay, how are you, Rose? You're next. Can you hear me, Rose? Rose, can you hear me? How are you? Would you say hello to us? Unmute your microphone. How are you today?
Good morning, Tanajan. Good morning, Sangha, across the world. Good morning to everyone.
She's from Florida. Okay. Hi. Do you have any question yet? Not yet. Okay. You just listen. I'll go to the next person. Gek Yen So from Malaysia or Singapore, I'm not sure.
Hi, Ajahn. This is Gillian from Penang.
From Penang, Malaysia. Yes. You have any question today?
Some question, Ajahn, the day you advised me to, when my hand is pain during meditation, focus on chanting, then only switch back to my focus on my breath. So I trying that I can sit a little bit longer.
Yes. Yes, just ignore everything. If you're concentrating, then you can withstand anything that try to attack you. But if you're not concentrating, then you will fall right away. You will become agitated and restless, and you want to give up meditating.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Just keep focused on your meditation object. When you meditate, that's your work. You shouldn't do anything else. But people don't know that. As soon as they meditate for a couple of seconds, they start thinking about family or friend or financial problem and so forth. That's not what you're supposed to be doing when you meditate. When you meditate, you're supposed to be focused on your meditation object only, nothing else.
Okay.
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 Hi,
Thank
Joyce.
you. Yeah.
Joyce, you're next from Singapore.
Hello.
Are you from
Long Paul.
Singapore?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you from Singapore?
Yes, yes.
You got any
Ajahn, how are
questions?
you?
Good, good. Thank you. And you?
Thank you for your Dhamma guide for so many times. I've been visit you. I visited you in 2017, and
years ago.
after seeing you and listen to your talk, it was very inspired to me. Then by then I start to do meditations, and also try to be very mindful when I get up until I go to work in the train, in the MRT. I also do mindful open awareness. So my question is actually now sometimes I really can see the mind full of criticism and full of judgment. So sometimes you are very confused of this judgment. You don't know how to deal with it.
It's easy. Every time you want to judge or criticize other people, do criticize yourself first. Ask them, are you above criticism? Are you above judgment? Are you perfect? Then you can look back at yourself. Criticize yourself. Don't criticize other people, because you don't get anything from criticizing other people, but you get a lot from criticizing yourself. Okay. Because you'll be correcting yourself, you'll be improving yourself.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Since then, I was like cutting down a lot of social activity, and I feel really a lot of peace. So I think this should be the directions, because after meditation, somehow the suffering get much less, and the aversion get much less. Yes. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, good. If you could not stop criticizing other people and you cannot criticize yourself, then you just use the mantra to stop your criticism. Just recite mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. When you cannot stop criticizing.
Actually, yes. I can catch the criticized mind. So then I will tell myself, usually we are human beings, we are not perfect. So when we do is we do purify ourselves first, set a good example.
That's right. Good. Okay.
Thank you.
And next to Naomi Jonas. Naomi, you got any question today from Toronto?
I have a question today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, louder. Can you speak louder?
Oh, okay. Is this better?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Good.
So my question is, well, I've been meditating 5 hours a day since May, and then maybe once a month for 4 or 5 days, I'll go to another place to be on my own and meditate more. And keep the 8 precepts and meditate more like 10 hours a day. And when I'm at home and I have time and I'm meditating 5 hours, but I have trouble keeping the 8 precepts. And I wonder if you think I should really try to force myself to keep 8 precepts 1 or 2 days a week consistently when I'm at home, or if you think it's better for me to just try to go to a separate place by myself as much as I can. I'm wondering what you think.
Yeah, seclusion is a good thing to do if you can get away and be alone, because then there'll be less distraction, less temptation for you to go do some other thing other than meditation. Because if you're close to people, sometimes they invite you for lunch, they invite you to go do something with them, go shopping and so forth. And then you might feel obligated to accept the invitation because you don't want them to feel bad, for instance. So if you're not strong in resisting this temptation, then it's better to stay away from them. Try to go seek seclusion, solitude, be alone, and there will be no temptation to tempt you. See, the 8 precept the purpose is to prevent you from doing other activities. Really, that's the whole purpose of the 8 precepts. Stop you from going to activities for the purpose of entertainment or for enjoyment. You should seek meditation as your means of enjoyment and entertainment. Right? Can use the word. Yes, the Buddha said before your mind can be calm and peaceful, the mind has to be isolated. The body has to be isolated first. Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. I'm just wondering if during times when it's difficult for me to find a secluded or the time or to actually be able to go somewhere else, if you think I should be more strict with myself to at least keep 8 precepts 1 or 2 days a week when I'm at home, or if I just don't worry about it and whenever I can go away, then go away. I'm just not sure if I should really force myself to try to keep 8 precepts 1 or 2 days a week when I'm at home if I can't go. I still am meditating 5 hours even without the 8 precepts, but I don't know if I should really force myself more consistently at home.
Well, keeping the precept means to stop doing other activities rather other than meditation. So if you could do 5 hours of meditation and still not having to keep the 5 precepts, if you want to maintain that status, then you don't need to keep the 8 precepts. But if you want to meditate more, say 10 hours a day, then you might have to give up some other activities. Then the 8 precept will comes into play then. Okay.
That answers my question. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. How are you, Jonathan Wiley from San Francisco, I believe, if I'm not forgotten?
That's right. Good morning,
Ajahn. Today?
Good morning. How are you?
Good evening here.
I had a question. I've been trying to extend my mindfulness throughout the day. And I mentioned this before. And with each, the more mindfulness I'm bringing into my life, I can see the results pretty quickly in my meditation. And the question I've had is around how to think about aspects of my work. So my work and how that sort of is interfering. So I've been practicing, thinking only when I'm working, which can be a little bit hard. So what happens is my work is I lead teams and we build products, and there's a certain amount of enthusiasm I've noticed it's like necessary for getting us all heading in the right direction together. And I notice myself getting excited about what we're doing. And that's like partly necessary for my job. But then that excitement feels a little bit like agitation later, where it's like my mind stays engaged in the thing that we're working on at work. And it's a little bit hard to set down. And so over the last week, I've been just reflecting on the sort of like unsatisfactory nature of that work. And I wonder if that's the right way to, what I would like to have happen is that when I stop work, I can set down work and just let it go and then focus on meditation. And I have a little bit of trouble with that transition. And I was wondering if reflecting on the sort of like unsatisfactory nature that the ideas we have at work are never going to produce happiness, is that the right way to proceed, or is there something else I can be doing to help with the transition and setting down work after work?
As you move forward in your practice, as you want to develop more of your practice, you'll find that your working life can be a distraction or a hindrance, let's put it that way. So if you want to be able to move forward in your practice, then you have to lessen your work load, do less work. See? You cannot have both at the same time. You have to, there's a trade-off. When you want to be able to do more with your practice, then you have to do less with your work. You cannot have both. Do more with your work and also do more with your practice, because they're like darkness and light. You cannot have both of them at the same time. So you'll find that if you want to improve or move more ahead with your practice, you'll find that you will have to lessen your workload, do less work, or eventually even give up work when you're ready to do full-time practice. In the meantime, if you cannot do that, then you just have to accept the result of what you can do right now. Does this answer your question?
It does, thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
One question is I've noticed that for the most part, my relationships with people at work and also at home with my wife is very, very peaceful. I still have noticed though that there can be sometimes like a faint sort of irritation that can come up. And sometimes I can actually get angry, but it's very, very rare. And the way that I've sort of dealt with that irritation when it comes up is just to acknowledge the feeling and to just know that, you know, that's the result of my karma, and just endure that and not react to it. But I wonder if there's a way that I can reflect on that also to help me gain some wisdom when that irritation's coming up, so that I can destroy the defilement that's underlying it.
Well, usually your irritation or uneasiness usually come from your craving or your desire. Maybe you want something, and then that person somehow interfere with your desire, so you become irritated. So the Buddha say, if you live with other people, when you deal with other people, you have to let them come first, and you don't let your desire come first. Let the people that you deal with come first. Put them in the first priority, meaning you should treat them nice and accommodate them rather than try to get your desire, and by trampling on other people, for instance. This is what we call having metta. You have to consider other people's welfare before you consider your own welfare. Then you won't have any irritation, because you're willing to let go of your desire to deal with other people's expectation or whatever they want from you. And then you should only have the desire to practice when you're alone and not dealing with other people. And when you deal with other people, then you have to switch mode from being selfish to being selfless. When you're alone, you can be selfish because you're not hurting anybody. Right? You can then do everything you want for yourself. But when you're with somebody, then you have to be selfless. And you feel good that way also, because you feel like you have given that person or whoever the person you deal with some happiness, which is part of being metta, having metta. So metta is quite important when you have to deal with people. When you come across people, then you have to use metta and forget about meditation or anything like that you want to do. You have to deal with people in a nice way. Then you both of you will be happy. You are happy, and the person that you deal with are happy. Then there won't be any lingering bad feelings after you are alone and meditating. But if you have some interaction and you have some quarrel with other people, even after when you're alone and meditating, this feeling might linger in your mind and cause you not to be able to meditate properly, effectively. So try to be metta, try to use loving kindness when you deal with other people. When you're alone, then you can concentrate on your mindfulness and on your meditation. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Amy Jalili, she's gone away from the screen. I'm not sure if she can hear us or not. If you can hear us, it's your turn if you want to say something. But if you're not, I'll go to Sally first. How are you, Sally? Sally Chi. Where are you from?
Malaysia.
How are you?
I'm good. Ajahn.
You have any question?
This week no. I don't have any question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll then go to the next person then, okay?
Thank you.
I'll go to Philip. How are you, Philip, from Malaysia also?
Ajahn, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. You have any question?
Not now. Not now.
Okay.
Most of it has been kind of answered.
All right. Then now let's go to the next person. Hi, Vladimir. How are you? Where are you from?
I'm very well. I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. Okay.
Yes. I would like to. I would like to know about the jhanas. I heard that there are 8 jhanas. Is it that right?
Yes, they divide into two set of jhanas. Each one has 4 levels. They call Rupa jhana and Arupa jhana. The first level that we practice, we are in the Rupa jhana first. Before we can go to the second level, we have to pass through the first level, the Rupa jhana level first. And usually we want to reach the 4th jhana. That's where we will have peace of mind and equanimity and happiness. And it's enough as far as meditating for development of insight. You don't have to go to the second level of jhana, the Arupa jhana. Once you have the 4th jhana, the Rupa jhana, then you'll be ready to develop insight. You'll be ready to contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta. So, but for some other people, they have strong mindfulness. They can go further than the 4th jhana. But it's not necessary for the development of insight. And it could be a distraction also, because then instead of using your time to develop insight, you spend time developing more jhana unnecessarily. So just just get to the fourth jhana. And the only way to get to it is to be mindful of your meditation object continuously. And
Thank you.
okay, good. Who next? Anybody? Okay, Amy, you're back. Amy Jadili, how are you?
Good
Where are you
morning.
from?
Good morning. There is a fire alarm going on. I can't talk. Sorry.
Okay, okay then. Okay, take care of the fire first. Okay. Anybody wants to ask any
Sorry.
question,
It
please?
comes and goes. Like I'm just gonna very quickly. Venerable Ajahn, is there any possibility I can speak with you privately? Because my life has been very strange in so many levels that if I could talk to you privately, that would be very great, because I cannot comprehend it, and it doesn't seem like a real.
It's not quite possible. It's not possible for a monk to be talking alone with a woman. See, so I need
I
at least.
understand. Sorry, I keep turning off and on when the fire test comes.
Yes.
I will try to find somebody else that I can feel comfortable. So I'm not just.
Find a friend, somebody else to accompany.
Yes.
Especially a man, better than a.
Yes.
Because according to the monastic rule, we have to be accompanied by another male person.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry not be able to do what you want me to do. All right. Just keep listening to our Dhamma talk, and maybe you might find some answer from this.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will attend the next meeting when there is no fire alarm, so I can speak better. Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay. Where are you from? Toronto, or you
I
from?
live in Toronto. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Goodbye. Okay. Who next? Who wants to?
Win 7.
Win 7.
Win 7.
Where is he? Is he on?
Yeah, he okay. He turned on the video already. Win 7.
Win 7. You want to say anything? Where are you from? No sound coming from you. No microphone, I presume. You have to turn on your microphone.
Turn on the microphone at the left button.
Maybe you did not allow your computer, the program, to access your microphone, so it doesn't show on the screen. Normally, when you start the application, they ask for your permission to access your microphone and video camera. You might just only access the camera, not the microphone. So there is no microphone icon on your screen. You might have to go out first and come back again, turn off your application and start your application again. Okay, let me go to Sinyi. Sinyi, how are you?
Good evening, Long Po. Yes, I'm good.
You're from Malaysia or Singapore?
Malaysia.
Malaysia. You have any question today?
No, I'm just listening. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Win 7. You have the microphone icon now. Just press it. The red. Unmute your microphone. Win 7. Okay, now you can speak. Go ahead. You got anything to say? Where are you from? Cannot hear? Can you not hear?
He's not here.
He's not hearing at all. Okay.
I think he should go back to the waiting room first.
Okay. Anybody else who would like to ask any question? Now it's free time. Anybody wants to speak can go ahead and speak. Okay, sweet hand.
Yeah, good morning, Ajahn Suchart. I just have a question, right? When we suffer, it's normally we experience, right, through contact. It doesn't matter like pleasure, gain, it's all through contact, right? So is it during meditation or when we do like, seclusion from body, is it all we trying to cut off like this contact?
Besides contact, you also can have suffering from your thoughts without having any contact. When you think about something and you worry about those things, then you can have suffering also. So it's just not only contact. Contact are the five organs, five objects, five sensual objects. Then you have the six, you have the mental object inside your mind. Your thoughts and your memory can also cause you suffering. When you think about something bad in the past, you can feel bad, right? But when you meditate, you stop all of this. You stop the contact with the sensual objects, and you also stop your thoughts and your memory. So your mind become empty, and then all the suffering will disappear temporarily. Until you come out of your meditation, then your suffering can restart again.
Yeah, that's why like when we come up from meditation, like all these contact come back again, and then the thought is also another kind of contact with the mind.
Yeah, that's right. So you have six contact. The five sensual organs and the mental and the thought and perception. The thought and the memory inside your mind.
So not until when we develop insight, then this permanently we can get rid of.
If you just let them alone, treat them like the weather, see. You normally don't get upset with the weather, and you get upset with people and things, because you think they are people and things. But according to Vipassana, they are all weather. They are anatta, see. But we choose to divide them or separate them from anatta. When you see things and people, you say, "Oh, they're things, they're people." But you think you can deal with them, you can manage them, you can control them. See? But you might be able to do that some of the time, but not all the time. So it's better to treat everything like the weather. Don't expect anything from anybody or anything. Then you will not have any anxiety or worry or sadness when things don't go according to what you want. This is Vipassana. Sabbe Dhamma anatta. See, everything that your mind come into contact with are all anatta. They are all natural process. They are like the weather. But we've been deluded by the conventional knowledge. And they are people, they are animal, they are such and such, and you can deal with them in such and such way. But you're not looking at the whole picture. The whole picture is everybody is a part of the natural process, a part of nature, really. We are part. Because what make up our body are nature parts. The wind, the air, the earth, and the fire. They build up your body. They make the 32 parts of your body. But then we put a name, we put a label on the body. So this is my husband, this is my wife, this is my daughter, and so forth. And you start to be possessive of them. And when you cannot keep them, when they leave you, when they fall apart, then you become sad. But if you think of them like snowman, eventually when the heat comes, the snowman will melt away. Our body are like snowman. One day it's gonna melt away, right? Like ice cream. Okay. So keep reminding yourself that everything is like a snowman or like ice cream. they will
for your analogy.
disintegrate.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, when they still exist, they might not always do what you want them to do either. Sometimes you want them to be nice to you, and they don't treat you nice. So you just have to expect them like you expect the weather. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows, sometimes it's sunshine. Then you have no problem with the weather. But you have problem with people and things, especially the things that you possess, because you want to keep them, you want to control them. You want them to serve you, to give you happiness. And sometimes they don't do that for you. Then you become sad. Okay, we have new
Thank you.
participant. Quite hard to read. Nguyen Duong. Are you from Vietnam? Sounds like Vietnamese name. Please unmute your microphone. Okay.
Hello, Ajahn.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Vietnam.
Okay. And you are living in the States right now?
No, at the moment I am in Hanoi, but I'm going back to London soon.
I see. Okay. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you.
Have you been following my teaching, or just happened to come in?
We came to Wat Yan some time ago.
I see. Okay.
Met with you.
I don't recognize you. Maybe because of the picture on the screen is very small.
Let me try.
Okay. Do you have any question?
One small question, please. When I was chanting Dana Parami, Sampano, there were so many paramis, and some people just like they were talking to me and say, "Oh, I don't have enough parami to either like become a monk or do some practice or something." And can you please explain or talk more about like the relationship between parami and sati or samadhi, because like panya is in the list of those parami, but
yes.
not sati, not samadhi.
Okay. See, parami is translated into English as perfection. These are the Dhamma quality you have to develop in your mind. The first parami you have to develop is metta parami, loving kindness toward all beings. You should not think of other people as your enemy. You should always think of everybody as your friend. Because by having metta, then your mind will be calm and peaceful, and then it will enable you to do the second parami, which is dana. Once you look at everybody as your friend, then you want to help them, right? If you can help them, then you'll find it easy to do dana, to do charity. So once you have the ability to give to charity, to do dana, then you don't want to hurt other people. You want to help other people. You want to make other people happy. So it will make it easy for you to have the third parami, which is the sila parami. Because then you don't want to hurt, you don't want to kill, you don't want to steal, you don't want to hurt other people by committing adultery, you don't want to, or sexual misconduct, you don't want to lie, you don't want to drink and get yourself drunk. Because when you're drunk, you tend to say or do things that will hurt other people. So this will give you the ability to keep the 5 precepts. If you have metta parami and dana parami, then you will be able to practice the third parami, which is the sila parami. Once you can keep the 5 precepts, then you will be able to move up to the next level, called the I can't think of the word. Nekkhamma Barami. Nekkhamma means to refrain from sensual activities. So this will then enable you to keep the 8 precepts. Once you could keep the 5 precepts, then it's not difficult to keep another 3 precepts. The additional 3 precepts is to stop you from seeking happiness from using your body, from using your sensual organs. So this is what we call Nekkhamma Barami. This is the thing that require of people who wants to become monks or nuns. They have to be able to have this Nekkhamma Barami. They have the ability to stop looking for happiness through the sensual organs, sensual objects. So once you have this Nekkhamma Barami, then you will have the time to meditate. See? Then when you meditate, you have to develop mindfulness in order to get to samadhi. When you get to samadhi, then you have the next parami called Upekkha Barami. Okay. Once you have the Upekkha Barami, equanimity, then you'll be ready to develop wisdom or Panya Parami. And once you have Panya Barami, then you will be able to release yourself from suffering, get rid of all your cravings and desire, and be free from suffering, be free from the rounds of rebirth. And in order to do all these 6 paramis, you need 4 other paramis as the supporting paramis. First, you need to have the Atithan Barami, which means you have to have resolution, you have to have determination, you have to set up a goal that in this lifetime you want to practice all the paramis, like the Metta Parami and Dana Parami, Sila Parami. You have to have resolution or determination. This is called Atitana Barami. Once you have set up the resolve, then you have to have Sajja Barami. Sajja means truthfulness, or being truthful to yourself, truthful to your resolution. People tend to like to set up good resolution, but they don't keep up with their resolution. That means they don't have truthfulness in themselves. So you have to have a truthfulness to yourself. Once you say you want to do something, then you have to do it. See, this is Sajja Barami. And once you have Sajja Barami, then the next thing you need to have is Viriya Parami. Mean effort. You have to put in the effort to do what you have determined to do. You have determined to keep the precept, to give dana, to be kind to other people. Then you have to force your mind, yourself to do it. This is what we call effort, or Viriya Parami. And the last parami is Khanti Parami, meaning you have to be patient when you run into difficulties. You must endure and persist and continue on with your practice, not giving up. This is what we call Khanti Parami. So these are the 10 paramis that we Buddhists are taught to develop in our lifetime. If we can develop all these paramis, then we will be able to become enlightened in this lifetime, starting with the Sotapanna level to the Arahant level eventually. Okay, is this clear enough?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any more questions from you?
Not yet.
Okay. We'll go to Karina then. How are you, Karina? You're from Singapore.
Yeah, Ajahn. I'm good. How are you? Yes, I'm from Singapore. Today I don't have the question yet. Maybe just would like to report a little bit from the last 2 sessions that Ajahn had shared with me during my meditation. From there, I was quite aware of trying to bring back the mindfulness. So I'm still practicing it during my meditation event time or daily event. Yeah, somehow it is not easy. But when last few time when I was managed to bring back the mindfulness, because I can see the mind, it have a thoughts arise, it will remind you do this, then you just ignore, then suddenly it will pop out another thinking. Is like, oh, okay, maybe this are the thing that it will just, or then somehow it will just ask you stand up. I think it's enough, you sit long enough. I think these are things that it keep on coming in and out, or arise, and then it just eliminate by itself. So I think that if I can continue to focus on one point, I think I should be able to hopefully I can see the truth, like what we listen from the Dhamma or read from the Sutta as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
You just have
thank
to
you,
be
Ajahn.
mindful, keep being mindful. And sometimes it's good if you can recite a mantra or chant, because this will prevent your thoughts from arising.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Somi Go, how are you, Somi? Where are you from? You have to unmute your microphone, Somi.
Yeah, Chan. Good evening.
Where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia.
Do you have any question?
So far, okay. I have only one question. Ajahn, it seems that now everybody are rushing to meditate without having a basic foundation of the Dhamma, and straight away going into practice of jhana with a misunderstanding and wrong view of samadhi, which is happening everywhere now. And it's very difficult for us to share with them about the importance of the Dhamma, the basic foundation, especially the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, which they don't even know. And they are rushing and jumping into meditation for jhana. Maybe Ajahn can help and give a little short briefing for this for them to understand. Thank you.
But I think people heard that meditation helps cure the stress, the mental problem. So they think it more as a medicine rather than as part of the Noble Eightfold Path for the total eradication of suffering. So it's understandable and it's unavoidable, and there's nothing much you can do it. So, if they think meditation is just a medicine to them, a therapy like yoga or something, and they use it to lessen the stress, which is okay, because meditation is not solely doesn't belong to Buddhism entirely. It is used in other religions as well. In Hindu religion, in other religions, they use meditation, mindfulness. So this is just something that you just have to understand that, there's nothing you can do about it unless they come and talk to you and want to learn more about what we do with mindfulness in Buddhist practice. And we can explain that it's just part of the practice that we use, but it's not the only one. There are other practices that we have to have also, because our goal is for the total eradication of stress, not just a temporary fix, like most people think of today. They want quick fix and temporary fix. So when they hear that, when you have problem with your mind, just meditate and then your problem will disappear. So, okay, what can you do? All right?
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you, Sadhu.
Okay. We have a newcomer here, Adrian. Adrian, how are you? Can you unmute your microphone? Where are you from, Adrian?
Sorry, Ajahn. I'm from Brazil.
From Brazil. Yes, okay.
Yes, from Brazil, yes.
You have any question today?
No, I want to watch only. Thank you.
Okay, good. Then I'll go to Phoebe then. Hi, Phoebe, from Toronto.
Good day, Ajahn. Thank you. I don't have any questions today. I'm just happy to see you and listen. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any question? Please raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Xin Yi, go ahead.
Langpo, this my mother is unable to join, but she has a question. Can Langpo elaborate more on the Namakandas?
The Namakandas are the function of the mind, really. That's what it is. That's what they are. It comes from the mind, it stays with the mind, it goes with the mind, okay? The Namakandas. They're not part of the body, like some scientists today might think. They think that everything is in the body. Your thoughts, everything, your memory are in the brain, for instance. But that's not it, according to Buddhism. Buddhism see that the four Namakandas are parts of the knowing element, which we call the one who knows, or the knowing, the knower. Okay, they are one, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Okay, Vedana means feeling of good feeling, bad feeling, or neutral feeling. Sanya is memory or perception. Sankhara is thought or thinking. Vijnana is consciousness or awareness of the sensual objects. That comes through the sensual organs, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. This is how the mind can reach this world through the vijnana. The vijnana will connect to the eyes, ears, nose, and tongue of the body. So when the eyes see a picture, then an image, then it will send to the mind through this vijnana or consciousness. Once it gets to the mind, then the perception will then do the work, trying to figure out what kind of picture or image it is seeing, whether it's good image or bad image or neutral image. When it's determined to be good image, then good feeling will arise, will follow. If it's bad image, then bad feeling will arise. If it's neutral image, then it will be neutral feeling will arise. Once you have this feeling, then your thought or sankhara will then decide what to do. Should I get it or should I run away from it? See? Depends on whether it's good or bad. So this is how the Namakanda work in conjunction with the body. After the body dies, then four Namakanda still exist. It doesn't die with the body because it comes from the mind, and the mind doesn't die either. The mind then coexist as a spiritual being until it eventually get a new physical body. Then rebirth takes place, and it will restart using the body to connect with the other people in this world. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Langpo.
All right. How are you calling from London?
Hello, Ajahn. I'm well. I'm sorry to come in so late. And actually, today I was thinking about last time you talked about the mind and the body, right? They are two separate entities, and you said the mind doesn't stay in the body, and it's like in the spiritual being. I'm just wondering because when I listen to Lungta Mahabhua's talk and things like that, when he talk about the cheetah, he always point it to his heart, like So I thought it is somewhere near the physical heart, and also in Luang Por Panya's talk, he talked about it is sometimes located near the physical heart. I know it's not attaching to the body, but does it stay there sometimes, just a location?
No, I think he just wants to emphasize for you to come inside yourself, come back inside yourself, as opposing to go outside to other people and things. Bring yourself, bring your mind back inside. See? But it doesn't mean bring it inside the body, because if you go to the 32 parts of the body, then you'll find there's no mind in the body either.
No.
The body,
No,
the mind only sends the consciousness, the stream of consciousness, 5 of them, to attach to the body. See?
So it's just like just showing us we have to bring ourselves back.
Right, back to ourselves, back inside the mind. And don't worry about other things, other people, because everything in this world is temporary. They cannot be your refuge. Your true refuge is inside yourself.
Yeah, because when I read Ajahn Acharya Mun's biography, he talked about at the beginning when he was practicing meditation and he was trying to contemplate the body, but his mind was so dynamic, it kept going everywhere, and sometimes it went through his feet and down to the hell realms, and sometimes went through his head to the heavens. Well, that's what he said in the book. So I just wonder if it sometimes was in the body. Then he said in the book he was trying very hard to get his chitta back with himself. So I suppose it's what you said. Yeah.
It's not the chitta that went around, it's the thought that went around. Okay. You'll be thinking about your feet, you'll be thinking about heaven, you'll be thinking about everything. So sometimes we use the word the mind in place instead of for the thought, for the thinking that we think, for the thought that we think. It's the thought that running around all over the world. Your body is here in London, but you can be thinking in China, in America, in anywhere. So this is what it means by the mind going all over the place. The mind itself doesn't go around, it's the thought that goes around. But since it comes from the mind, so we use it. We use it as the mind. We use the mind. Because the thought is the one that leads the mind to all the places. See? When you think of America, your mind is already there by just thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. See, the place where the mind exists, we cannot say where because we don't have any measurement or anything to gauge it. So we just have to say it's out of this physical world. It's in a different dimension. We call it the spiritual world. Let's put it that way. And all our mind are like that. When our body dies, the mind still exists in the spiritual world. And just wait for its chance to take another body to have rebirth again in the next life. Why existing in the spiritual world, it can be happy or it can be suffering. Depends on the good or bad karma. When the mind exists in the spiritual world happily, we call heaven. When the mind exists in the spiritual world with suffering, we call hell. So this is it. This is like purgatory according to Catholic teaching. You know, when the body dies, the spirit still not go to heaven. It's still in somewhere in between, waiting. But with Buddhism, it's automatic. Once the mind is without the body, then it will become either a happy spiritual being or a suffering spiritual being, because it did good and bad karma. Why the body was still alive, and the karma that it did will then be decide what kind of spiritual being the mind will be after death of the body. Okay. Anybody else?
Lim.
Okay,
Philip Lim.
I knew your microphone. Okay. Yes.
Actually, this is Adeline. I have a question.
Can you speak louder?
Oh, I have a question in regards to Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Yeah, because my family, I think my grandmother had Alzheimer's. So in the event that, later on, if it does happen, does the consciousness, will your mind still be there? And
Yes, I think Alzheimer is the ailment of the body, not of the mind. If you have strong mindfulness, you can still remember a lot of things, but you might not be able to use the body to show that you know or remember, because your body is not doing the work.
because you tend to forget a lot of things, that is, like doing
Yes.
the things and so forth.
You tend to forget because you don't have mindfulness. When you do things, you let your mind just running around all the place, so you forget. But with somebody who has strong mindfulness, they retain a lot of memory. They know exactly what they do at each moment. See, so usually with people with strong mindfulness, they're not affected by Alzheimer or dementia. Look at all the Ajahn. They're 90-year-old, 100-year-old, and their memory is still fresh, like a young person.
Okay. So that's good to cultivate so that later on you won't develop.
That's right. If you have strong mindfulness, I think this will
Help. Yeah.
prevent you from getting dementia or Alzheimer. At least this is my belief. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
But I look at all the meditation masters. They are old, but they all have good memory.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yes, Emily Shelton, Matt, I think that's your name. Unmute your microphone, please.
Yeah, it's Matt. Yeah, that just reminded me of a story that Ajahn Thanissaro told about his teacher Ajahn Suchart, where he got in a car accident that gave him brain damage. And he talked about how his mind kept sending him, or his body kept sending him strange perceptions. So I was wondering if you knew anything more about that.
Well, I look at the body like a car, an automobile, and the mind is like the driver. Okay. The driver of the body is the mind, like the driver of the automobile. Whatever happens to the automobile doesn't happen to the driver, see. But somehow the driver cannot drive the automobile because it has a flat tire, for instance. But it doesn't mean that the driver is not capable of driving. It's just that the body does not respond to the command of the driver. So it's the same thing with the mind. See, the mind is in complete control of itself and of the body. But when the body starts to break down or not functioning properly, the mind cannot do anything. But whatever happens to the body doesn't happen to the mind or affect the mind, especially for an enlightened person, because he separated himself from the mind, from the body completely. But with an unenlightened person, he's the body. See? So he can be suffering whenever things happen to his body. But with an enlightened person, he will not suffer when things happen to his body, because now he knows that it's not him who's hurt. All right. Okay. Okay. We're about 1 hour and 31 minutes into the meeting, so I'll let you have a few more questions, maybe 5 more minutes if you really have any question to ask. Please do so.
Ajahn, Karina here. Can I ask a question? Like just now you mentioned about 10 parami. Is it in sequence?
I think it is, because it's like from easy to hard. It's easy to be loving and kind, and then to give to charity, for instance. I think they depend on one another. Before you can be charitable, you have to be nice and kind to other people first.
Yeah. That's what I think also. And to the number 7, Atitan Parami, that one, that means if we were to practice from the first 6 of the paramis, would it come naturally?
No. The other, the 7 to the 10 parami are separate from the other 6. They are the supporting or the working parami. You need these 4 parami to practice parami.
Okay.
You first have to set up the resolution, the atitana. From now on, I'm going to be kind and nice to other people. I'm going to give to charity whenever I can. I'm going to keep the 5 precepts. This is what we call atitana barami. You have to set up a goal first, what you want to do, a goal, a plan of action. This is what atitana means. You want to know what you're going to do. Then once you know what you're going to do, then you have to keep doing it. This is what called Sajja Parami, truthfulness, not lying to yourself. Some people like to set up New Year resolution, I'm going to stop drinking, and 2 days later they forgot. So they're lying to themselves. They're not being truthful to themselves. So you need to be truthful. Like the Buddha, he used his first 2 parami when he sat under the Bodhi tree before his enlightenment. He set up the resolution, from now on, I'm going to sit here and meditate until I become enlightened. If I don't become enlightened, I won't get up from this place. Even if the blood in my body became dry, I would not give up my meditation practice. So you need to have something like this to force yourself to do things. You don't set up a goal, then you can be vacillating back and forth. Oh, should I do it? No, I shouldn't do it, so forth. But once you set up the goal, set up the determination, then you cannot change your mind.
Yes. It seems like currently I'm at the stage of I have done do the Metta, Dana, Sila. I'm at this stage of trying to keep the 5 precepts on daily, but sometimes I recognize that I couldn't because due to some works. And then Ajahn, you also mentioned about Nekkhamma Parami. That one is it after the 5 Sila that we have done? Then we will vow.
Then you can take the 8 precepts on the 5. If you could keep 5, then the other 3 can be no problem.
So after the Upekkha Parami, it come. That one will be Panya. Is it a Panya?
Right. You need equanimity first before you can use wisdom to get rid of your craving, to fight your desire. You need to have Nekkhamma Upekkha Barami, equanimity. If your mind is not calm and not non-reacting, then whenever your craving comes up, you cannot stop reacting to your cravings.
Okay. Because I found very interesting that during the meditation, right, the thoughts will keep arising and then it will disappear, arising, disappear. It's quite interesting that but somehow you were trying to convince or trying to tell us that, hey, this is something that you got to wake up, you got to do things, you got to stand up, the leg is pain now. But if we're trying to focus and mindful, right, it's quite interesting that it will just disappear again.
That's right.
And then you find a peace and then you're very happy in there.
That's why I say you should not pay any attention to anything. If you pay attention, you'll lose your concentration. And then you might not be able to continue on with your meditation.
So was it because of that I mean throughout 2.5 years while I'm learning to meditate, but I really couldn't see anything. Unless it's those accidentally zoom in and then you find peace, sudden peace, that kind of very deep down, very happy, that kind. It can last many days or 1 week, 2 weeks kind. Well, was it the Yeah, was it a right peaceful the how to say, the happiness that if we really to keep improving our meditation, will we get into that level?
Yes, you will know for yourself. This is something you have to find out for yourself. We have the latecomer, the last comer, Juan. Juan, do you have anything to say or ask? Because we're about to close the meeting. We'll give you the last question.
No, Ajahn, no, Ajahn. That's fine for now. I just dropped by to watch
Say hello.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. You can watch the this broadcast again. Will be on the Facebook page.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Recorded and,
just to say that it's good to see you again.
okay, good. Thank you for coming in. Okay, I think it's about time for me to say goodbye because I think I'm a little bit tired now. So please keep on practicing because this is the only way for you to get the result, not by studying alone. Studying is good. You need to study to know what you have to do. But once you know what to do, then you have to do it. And once you do it, then you will get the result. Okay? Thank you all for coming in. And may you all stay well and stay safe. And we'll see you again next time.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Thank you, Ajahn.
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 Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.